All right, we're live with another episode of the Rage Bait Pod. It's Thursday afternoon, February 19th. And Bardo, what a weekend of sports that lies ahead of us. I can't wait to talk about it. Obviously, college hoop slate is crazy this weekend, but we got the Genesis in the golf world, college baseball, spring training is back, Olympic hockey. There's a lot to unpack.
There is. Honestly, I'm pretty fired up today. We had the most fraudulent activity of so many schools yesterday. Schools I was high on that now just look absolute shit. But yeah, I mean, regardless to say, this week's been electric with basketball, golf ramping up today. The hockey games, both women's and men's, have been insane. So yeah, action-packed day for a Thursday pod.
Yeah, it is. We got a lot to talk about, and I guess we'll save. We'll just get right into it and save some time. So, starting back on Monday's episode, we had kind of mentioned the Iowa State Houston game. That game ended up being amazing. These Monday night Big 12 games, they just keep delivering. I feel like each week we're like, that could have been game of the year. Um,
Literally
Crazy game.
the best conference by far, and they're showing out every primetime game, giving America what they want. I would like to say we both were spot on the game. I guess you were more spot on than me because you picked the actual winner, but Houston did cover the 3.5. If you were only able to get +3, that pushed. And obviously, Iowa 17-4 run comeback seals the deal. But yeah, I'll let you start with that game.
Yeah, I just thought, obviously the Iowa State home court advantage, I think really showed. That place was rocking. When they hit that corner three late in the game, I don't know if you saw that crowd pop video on Twitter without the broadcast.
Heisey hitting that
Yeah,
three. Yeah.
yeah, it was.
It was literally Clay Thompson, dude. He literally caught, literally just a set, didn't even, like, he was just set at top. And it literally, just flung it up, went in. I mean, that was the dagger there.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are really, really good. I think both, have Final Four potential. Obviously, I just think this Iowa State team. We said it last episode, and we said it before. It's just super vet heavy. So those big moments. I mean, I know Taman missed the free throws in crunch time, but like those are free throws he's probably normally going to make. Jefferson's a stud.
Well,
Um,
the free throws, I will say, first, the guy shooting like 60% from the line, Taman in particular, but
yeah,
the
he
team,
is. They
did
had
you
a bad
see
night at the line.
they're ranked like 300 something in all of D1 for free throws.
Yeah, problematic, but I mean, dude, the defense is so good. It's so good. And I saw this stat about their coach TJ Otzelberger. Under his tenure, they're 5-3 against teams ranked in the top two. No coach in the country has more wins against top two teams in that span. So like they're good. I think they're good.
Yeah, they're
They
good.
need to, but they need to score. Like they,
I was being dramatic maybe on the last pod and calling them full on frauds. I'm not high on them personally. Like in March, I just you see these cold stretches they go on, and that's just not sustainable when you're playing in a March game. But their defense makes up for it. Like we saw it. Houston turned the ball over, started missing shots. Iowa State gets out and running, and all of a sudden, the game's tied. Houston was up 11 with 6 minutes to go. I guess like one shining point you can give Houston is Kingston Flemings, man.
yeah,
This guy's the real deal. There's now people think, this is a reach, but people you can argue depending on what NBA team and the value they need, this guy could be a number one pick. He single-handedly was carrying this team on offense when Sharp got the fourth foul,
yes.
and I mean they came up short, like they really fell apart at the end. But I mean, shout out to Iowa State, like for just, I mean, Heisey hitting the banger three and just fighting their way back. But Houston's not going anywhere. Iowa State is undefeated at home. They were this close to pulling out a victory. Um, Emmanuel Sharp is that guy's also just an offensive machine. The three balls, it's such a smooth shot. But you know who, I guess the unsung hero,
You gonna say Cenac or Tugler?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I love Tugler too. That guy's like their Dennis Rodman.
He's
Just
so tough.
he's got his hands on everything. He's always on the floor, whether he's tipping something out or just stealing the ball. I mean, I guess back to him. Did you see the kickball violation that pretty much started the whole run?
Yeah, people on Twitter were mad about it, saying it lost him the game. I don't think you can say it like lost him the game, but it might have like killed some momentum or shifted it in Iowa State's favor. Because I mean, the replay showed it pretty clearly. It was not a kickball.
Yeah, you can't say it lost him the game, but it is pretty ironic that that's what began the 10-0 run. Because right after that, Iowa State knocks down a three. I was pretty intrigued to see Momcilovic not be a factor in that game.
And I think that's why I'm so high on Iowa State because they just beat a really good Houston team that I think has as good a shot as almost anyone to win the title. They just beat them, and their best player was, kind of not a non-factor, but he wasn't his normal self.
Non-factor in the second half. Dude, they
Yeah,
didn't even play him. I will say, shout out to their coach for bringing in that freshman Bateman.
yeah, he had a
He
big
hit
three
two
too.
threes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I get what you're saying about Iowa State. Maybe I'm just biased and I think they're boring, but they came out with the victory and still undefeated at home, and you took down number two Houston team. So yeah, it was a sick game regardless.
I think this might sound kind of contradictory, but I feel like Houston's in this like top tier of teams that I think like has a real legit chance of winning March Madness. I would put Iowa State in the tier right below that, which I know sounds kind of counterintuitive because they just beat Houston. Like I think Iowa State, if they're playing their best ball, they're playing good defense, and they're making these shots, like they could make the Final Four. Um,
Yeah, because I just feel like the whole bracket is up for grabs, honestly. There's really, I mean, I guess you can say Arizona, Michigan, and depending on who you are, you can throw Florida and UConn in there. We'll get to UConn, but
yeah,
there really is, there's a lot of very good teams. I wouldn't say like there's a team like last year's Florida team was just different. Um,
all four of those one seeds were kind of just in there completely.
Even Duke's last year team, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I agree with you about the Iowa State. Like I'll be rooting on their downfall, but can't knock them.
then obviously the other big game before Wednesday night was Michigan at Purdue. Um, I mean that first half, honestly, really just like the first 10 minutes of that game, Michigan looked like a god squad. Um,
I think they hit 12 threes in the first half.
yeah, and they had Braden Smith in a body bag. The guy had 0 points in the first half. He looked uncharacteristic game from Braden Smith, but Purdue kind of settled in there. Like you
They
saw it
won
in
the second half,
yeah, you saw it in the second half.
but we could also counter argue that Michigan kind of just was easing off the gas.
Yeah, very fair point. I will say TKR Trey Kaufman Wren had a night for Purdue, um, but Purdue or excuse me Michigan. The crazy thing about this team is they're just so deep. They've had 8 different guys lead the team in scoring this year, which is crazy. Um, just a bunch of different guys that can beat you. I mean, Elliot Cadell had a great game. Um, they're just so big down low too.
I mean, even though he's not putting up, maybe 15, 20 points a game, he's usually around 8 to 10. That guy's a game changer just
Yeah.
with the height and presence, especially on the defensive side of the ball because you can't attack. Um, and I guess if the threes aren't going to be falling, you're kind of screwed because then Michigan just gets out and runs. I will say this was the best shooting performance Michigan's had in the what's their coach's name? Dusty.
Dusty May.
Yeah, since he's been the coach, this was the best shooting performance they've had. Now, is that sustainable? I mean, we've seen this team continuously blow out teams, but I don't know. They only won by 10. I guess like it definitely shows how dominant Michigan is. I'm pumped for this Duke Michigan game out of if
Yeah.
anything.
My thing with Michigan is it's going to be really interesting when they match up with the team that has like the front court to match it. Like if they play Florida, I think it comes down at that point to the guard play then. And it's like, can Elliot Cadeau and the other Michigan guards like outplay,
Yeah, it's funny,
and that
dude, because
hypothetical would be
like
Florida, but
these guys aren't big name players. At least
Michigan,
when you look at a draft board,
yeah, they don't
right?
have
Like you're
any
not
like
seeing
top.
Joe, you're not seeing Kaysen, you're not seeing Luxembourg.
No, they're all like 15 and later, but there's a bunch of dudes on this roster. They don't necessarily have that like top guy like BYU or Houston, like with the
Right, but
Flemings
it's
or
just
DeBonsa.
a
But
very
it's a very
solid
balanced.
gelled team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't knock them. I remember telling you, and I was just emotionally pissed off that this team's not going to make the Final Four. It's definitely a hot take to make right now, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
not going to proceed with that take as of now.
yeah. We'll talk about it later on in the episode, but yeah, that Michigan Duke game this weekend is going to be amazing. I'm
Who
really
do you
excited to
got
watch
there as
that.
an early lean?
Uh,
I don't see how I can't take Michigan, to be
that's kind
honest.
of why I'm thinking Duke because I feel like everyone and their moms is going to be picking Michigan and kind of discounting this Duke team.
Duke has been rolling teams though too, but
Yeah.
ACC. We'll get into the ACC later. That fuck that conference.
Other big news that kind of happened earlier in the week, obviously, really sad news out of Lubbock. JT Toppin torn ACL. He's out for the year. That really sucks for this Texas Tech team. I know you were really high on him.
Yeah, that's brutal, man. Like that, their chances of making a run are really diminished. To be frank, the guy's averaging, 25, nearly 25 points a game. Good nights, he's getting 30 and 10, and it opens the three ball for Anderson and Atwell.
Yeah.
Him dominating. Yeah, they're screwed in my opinion. I
They
think
also have
they'll
the
win a game in March. They'll win their first game, but I don't even know if they get past the second.
yeah. Well, I think another problem they're
They do
running
have depth,
into.
I will say, but this guy's a star of your team.
No, I saw something this week that said they're like towards the very bottom. They have a very thin rotation, and maybe that could have just been for like the front court, meaning they don't
I
have a
know
ton
they
of
have a
replacement
backup center.
options.
He doesn't because Toppin pretty much is playing nearly the whole game,
Yeah.
but they do have a 7 footer. He's not skilled offensively at all. He's just going to be a rim protector. But I mean, yeah, Tech's cooked in my opinion. It sucks because I loved watching their games.
Kind of last thing on that, I got a crazy stat for you. So by this season's end, Grant McCaslin, who's their head coach, he will have coached 102 games during his tenure at Texas Tech. He will have had his entire roster available to him in just 16 total out of 102 games. So just bad injury luck
Yeah,
for
every year,
for
dude, with that team.
yeah.
Last year too, yeah.
I
It's
know.
disappointing just for college basketball as a whole.
Yeah, because they were a player, right? I mean, we've talked about it at
Yeah.
length, but they definitely had a ceiling that was capable of going really really far. Other news this week: this guy's been kind of a hot topic as of late. Mick Cronin, man, your UCLA Bruins.
Should have brought
This
Rick
guy,
back on for this one.
this guy is something else.
I mean, erratic. This guy is literally the biggest egotistical maniac I've ever seen in college basketball. It's, I mean, first, like, if you watch a compilation of just pressers of this guy, it's just him. It's like he tries to be like this tough guy. He's got Napoleon syndrome for sure. Just an angry little guy. But I mean, the team sucks. We can go into that. I mean, I grew up just watching UCLA all the time. Dad is a huge fan, and if you were a stud in Southern California or just I guess even California as a whole, like you were going to UCLA. If you were a 4 or 5 star, born and raised LA, like it was no question. Like, think about those teams in the past. This guy can't recruit anyone. There's five, I think, top 15 recruits in high school this year. None of them are committed to UCLA. I mean, who wants to play for this guy?
Yeah, especially when he's ejecting his own players. That was going viral for a hot sec this week.
Did you read like there's a story about the kid too? It's honestly really sad.
It is. So for those that are listening and don't know, the guy that Mick Cronin self-ejected, um,
It's a
he tried to walk.
blowout. He doesn't even play. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the backup center, and 3 years ago, I believe it was, he tried to walk on at Michigan State to play basketball, got cut, then tried to be a manager on the team, and I don't think that worked out either. Ended up going to San Diego, played basketball there, now is at UCLA. Hard foul late in the game. I think they ended up calling it, what was it, a flagrant maybe?
I don't even know. Like, and it wasn't even that. So it wasn't even that hard.
It
Like,
was nowhere near the Providence one.
people on social media are saying it was like bad intentions. Like, he went for the ball, in my opinion. And then also to that point, like, dude, knowing Cronin and how crazy this guy is, if I think the kid's name is Steve. If Steve just let Cooper dunk the ball, you already know Cronin is would have a tantrum for like not playing hard. It's just like the dude's a loser, bro. And then
The,
the presser at the end is
yes.
one of the funniest videos I've seen all year.
Are you raising your voice at me?
Come on, dude.
Uh, how did that
Classic.
team
If you
beat
haven't seen
Purdue?
that, you need to watch Mick Cronin tonight. You got to. You'll get a good laugh. But yeah, UCLA basketball is just in shambles. It's pretty funny
Um,
because like the dude's usually defensive oriented, and this year they actually have a solid offense and they play zero defense. So, and now remember how I was like kind of high on them to be a bubble team? I don't even think they're gonna make it anymore. They have a
yeah,
brutal schedule coming up.
it'll be interesting to watch some more Mick Cronin videos going down the stretch. Kind of last parts of the
And they
early
can't
week.
fire him either because he's on a
Big
$22
buyout.
million contract.
Yeah, he's got a big buyout. Look, we talk about TCU a lot when they're doing good, so we'll mention it when they do bad. Awful showing in Orlando at UCF. You kind of, I think, hit the nail right on the head when we were texting. You just said seemed like they were content with the Oklahoma State win.
Didn't even show up from the get-go.
I will say, like, it didn't help that we could not buy a bucket, and it seemed like everything that UCF was throwing up was finding it. They shot the lights out.
Yeah, I will say, like, we obviously were content with winning that Oklahoma game, but it's like, man, like, if we win this game, like, look at West Virginia just loses to Utah. Obviously, UCF would have dropped another. It just would have put TCU in such a better place
It
for
would
the
have.
bracket wise. I mean, yeah, you could see from the get-go though, like, dude, like we looked so flat. But I will say the one thing that just drives me berserk is the free throws. When's this going to end, man? For a team that gets the line so frequent, it's literally 1 for 2 or 0 for 2 every single time.
It is frustrating. Part of me wonders if the percentage,
And
is
it's
going to be a
guards that
little.
are missing these free throws too. It's not like it's our big center Edmonds. Honestly, Edmonds makes more than everyone else.
Yeah, it seems like it's always Pierre. Harding can't
Toolson
shoot
misses
free
a
throws.
shit ton,
Toulson,
dude.
Micah Robinson feels like he hits his.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders if the percentage is, always going to be a little bit lower because they like do such a good job of getting to the line. They shoot so many free throws, like it just increases the amount of misses you're going to have. But inexcusable. They had a horrible night at the line. Just a bad game, but survive in advance. Got to beat West Virginia on Saturday. That was pretty much it from earlier in the week. Excuse me. But then last night, Bardo was a little fired up. I was too. We kind of had fraud
I
watch
guess we could
Wednesday.
highlight on another excellent performance by Iowa.
Oh yes,
Iowa takes
yes.
down Nebraska. Bennett Sturts went off. I think that kid is a beast. he can pull from anywhere, and it's just a cool team, honestly. It's like half of the Drake team from last year in beating Power Five schools. Yeah, that's a statement win for Iowa. Like, are they in?
I don't know if they're probably. I mean, I think they were already on the right side of
19
the
win
bubble.
team.
Yeah, yeah, they're going to be in. You get 20 wins in the Big Ten, you're probably in. I will say, watching that game, it feels like watching that Drake team from last year. They just have the slowest paced offense. They drain that shot clock down to 5 seconds every possession.
Every single of their games, it's the lowest scoring games.
Yeah, but definitely a good win. Kind of crazy to see a Big Ten team storm the court. Beating Nebraska. Not that I'm against court storming, totally for it. I'm more meaning it's kind of funny. Like Nebraska is good enough to where people are pumped about beating them. Is
Yeah.
more what I meant by that. Yeah, definitely a good,
I guess
interesting.
two quick others for you. We have SMU beating Louisville.
Yeah,
Where's SMU stand? Because they're at 18-8.
I think they're on the.
They have a
I,
couple solid wins over UNC and Louisville now.
I think they're safely in right, as we're speaking right now. Like I think they're on the 8-9 line.
They're a solid team. And then Georgia had a huge win at Kentucky. Um, and they're another bubble team trying to fight in for a chance. That was a huge win, but they don't have too many. Like that was probably their biggest win of the year. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it for Tuesday night ball.
Then I know we just alluded to it a second ago. We were both pretty fired up with the fraudulent activity that took place last night. Is there are there any of those games you're wanting to kind of open up with?
I mean, I guess like this one wasn't even really fraudulent, but I watched nearly almost the whole second half of Bama Arkansas, and I mean, Acuff went insane, but dude, that was the biggest ref show I've ever seen in the
I
OTs. That's what
yeah
was driving me insane.
I typically don't want to believe that like refs are rigging games. Like when I'm watching, I want to believe that it's a completely fair competition, especially if you're betting on it. But to come out and review the tip ball that they called goaltending, to review it for 5 minutes, get on the mic and say it's
Uphold.
it's upheld, then go back, review it for 5 more minutes and
I've never
overturn
seen
it.
that
I've never seen it.
in any game,
I've
in
never
any
seen it.
sport either.
All that tells me is there clearly wasn't enough conclusive evidence the first time to overturn it. Like you need really good evidence to do it. It clearly couldn't have been that great, or they would have overturned it the first time through. And the sickest part was they had the broadcasters in on it. These guys were saying that's the right call. These refs are. I mean, they praise every single call. You also had the other part where I think it was Acuff got fouled like way before a layup. They let him keep going and counted it as an and one, and I think it was in the first overtime. Then in the second overtime, Alabama does the same thing,
Yes,
and they're keeping it on the floor.
that was a disaster. I mean, that Vegas had their hands all in that game. I'm glad Alabama won. I mean, shout out to Acuff though. Like 49 points is in a college game is unbelievable.
He played all 50 minutes too.
And not even to like I was comparing. I guess he looks like him, and that's probably why it comes to my mind. But like, dude, it's literally Iverson out there. I, I mean, he has very similar footwork. His mid-range game was insane. He did hit the giant three to send it to overtime,
Yeah.
but the guy missed both game winners in both OTs.
To be
So
fair, though, they were in foul trouble. They had guys. Uh,
yeah,
excuse
they
me,
had guys that had never even
Arkansas.
seen the court.
Yeah, Arkansas had guys in that hadn't played this year, which I'm taking note of for March. Like it's a thin team. If they run into foul trouble like that, because Acuff was essentially the only option down the stretch there, especially in the second overtime. So he was getting a lot more defensive attention than he. I mean, he was all night. Obviously, almost
Yeah.
had 50, had damn near 50.
Even though I was rooting for Alabama, I love Billy Richmond.
Yeah,
He's just like a energetic wild horse.
that was another one of
You
the
know?
that was
Yes,
another one
that was
that
another one where they called the foul on him and then took it from him so he didn't foul out.
yes, I hadn't seen that before because that wasn't just like it happened right away and they kind of talked about it and like sometimes that'll happen like the ref initially gets it wrong. That was like kind of a there was a delay there.
They have a good squad, that Arkansas team.
Yeah. I also I don't remember if I texted you or somebody else this, but Acuff, he looks like an OG Hooper. Like he's got the longer shorts. All he
Longer
has is
shorts,
he's got the
yeah.
one elbow band and like that's it and he just hoops.
No, he's sweet. Yeah,
Um,
I'll definitely be on the lookout for them.
And Bama too. I mean, it's just again just like last year, so fast paced. They sprint right down and chuck it up, and when they're shooting, they can score a lot really quickly. But I mean, just zero defense.
Zero defense. I'm not high on that team at all. I honestly like hate watching them. I've said this to multiple people, but it's like AAU basketball with them. It's
Um,
like it's all one-on-one ISO. I guess Phylon
I wanted to shout him out. He looked good last
is,
night.
yeah, he did. He was attacking a lot more. Usually like you'll see games where it's just like ISO step back three, but no, he's getting to his spots last night. He looks amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, without him, they don't win that game.
no.
Obviously
Um,
not.
the other big game last night that I know you were kind of mad about, so I'm sure you're excited to talk about it. I'm excited to talk about it because I love the Creighton Blue Jays. Big upset in Stores. Taking down Danny Hurley. McDermott, man, I'm telling you.
That was insane. I mean, at home too.
Right
I didn't even
after,
watch a lot of that game. I tuned in with 5 minutes to go, and it was when UConn went, I think, 0 for 11 on their last 11 possessions. Couldn't buy a bucket, and Creighton just, Creighton was missing a ton, but then they would hit, a big three. What's that guy's name?
Nick
Is it Nick?
Graves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a huge win for a fun win because like they're not going to be anywhere. But
No, their season's probably over. I mean, you could theoretically always win your conference tournament, but their chance at like an at-large bid is probably over. But I was really happy for this
it's a
team.
horrible loss for UConn.
It is. This has been a challenging year for Creighton, on and off the court. Josh Dix's mom passed away a couple weeks ago, so it's been a tough year. So good for them to get like a really big win on the road. You could see they were really pumped up about it. But yeah, off night for UConn. They had a terrible. Everyone outside of Mullins had a terrible shooting night.
Terrible. Yeah, and it's like
Caravan solo ball had a bad night. Um,
I guess that's one of those games as like people would say like it's better to get out of the way, I guess now. Regardless, it's that's disgusting.
yeah, and I think
17-point favorites at home. And what's in like UConn in the second half went on like an 8-0 run, and it looked like it was about to just be blowout time. And then Creighton just kept on answering.
yeah. And I think as we're speaking,
We can move
that
into Clemson after that.
oh fuck, you know what? I didn't even write them down because I didn't even want to waste any breath talking
Yeah,
about that
there's
fucking
honestly
team.
really no reason talking about that team.
The
What
last
we
thing
can
about
say as a whole
UConn,
is screw the ACC. But yeah, go to your UConn point.
I just had one more point. I think that game played them out of the potential one seed. But I did see if they fall down to the 2 line, it could be in the East region. So someone said, is Danny Hurley playing chess? I don't think so. I think he would have preferred to win that game. But yeah, the ACC, watching that Clemson Wake Forest game, I should have known. That line reeked. It absolutely reeked at
I
3.5.
know it did, but
Should
it's
have
like
known.
I feel like recently now it's like lines like they'll just like do these fake lines to get you to think, oh, why is it so short? And then because I've been on the side where it's then, oh, the better team just wins by 20, and I look
Yeah.
like the jackass that tried to be sharp. But I
That
I
team,
just personally thought it was a good spot for Clemson. You're coming off 2 L's. They haven't lost three in a row since 2004.
against the second to
And they're
last place
garbage,
team.
bro.
Wake
They're
Forest is
garbage.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm watching that game, and it's Yeah, Wake Forest obviously played well enough to win. I don't want to necessarily take anything away from Wake Forest, but I'm watching
No,
that game.
Clemson cut it to 4 in the second half, and then
Clemson, they're bringing the ball up and slipping and turning it over. That happened multiple times, and
multiple times.
zero effort getting back on fast breaks. They couldn't buy a three. I mean, they were leaving them all short, hitting the front of the rim. Honestly, just a really frustrating
Will they
game to
be in
watch.
March?
I think they're in as of right now
Because they have
because
20 wins. But dude, like,
they're playing themselves out of it. If this keeps three straight losses, if they keep losing, they're playing their way onto the bubble. I'd say. Obviously, yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Louisville lost this week. They're one of the bigger teams in the ACC. Were there any other big games last night? I don't think I had any more written down.
no. I mean,
We obviously had. You want to talk about bad losses? You briefly touched on it earlier, but West Virginia drops a home game to Utah that you just can't lose when you're West Virginia right now.
yeah. Um, that's horrible. Home against Utah, one of the
Utah
worst
had
teams in the Big 12.
in Power Four. They hadn't won a true road game since it was like 300 and something days. It's almost been a
No,
full year.
Utah is on an L7 streak too.
That was a quad three loss.
I guess you can say it's good for TCU, but like to counter it, it's you already know this West Virginia team now is going to just be playing with a flame on their ass as they come into Fort Worth.
Yeah, interesting
So
note. Excuse me. On West Virginia, they haven't shot over 30% from three since January 10th. Um,
I don't think they're that
that's not very
good. They
good.
do have the one good win over Kansas. That was kind of earlier in the year. Um, I don't think they're a threat.
And yeah, I don't think so either.
TCU
But
should
they're close to
hopefully.
they're close to 20 wins, which will make it interesting. Obviously, too, we had Arizona bounce back pretty nicely
Yeah,
after the back-to-back
they just
losses.
looked back. Um, Nothing really much to say there. For all the people just doubting them, just instilled confidence that yeah, we're uh, we're a top three team in the country.
What do you think
We never
about?
had worries about that team anyway.
No, not at all. We talked about it last episode where like if they ever ran into a situation where they really needed to shoot threes at a high volume, maybe they could run into some trouble. But I don't think their defense is going to allow them to find themselves in that sort of situation early in the tournament to where it probably won't matter. I'm curious, what do you think about BYU now that Richie Saunders is out? Um,
I've never been that high on BYU. I How long is he out for?
the whole year towards ACL, I'm pretty sure.
They're, I mean, that's a huge. I feel like they're a team also with not a lot of depth.
No.
So yeah, I sell your stock in BYU. AJ though is still unbelievable. Like he's gonna carry his team as much as he can. I
Yeah,
think
he
he
had
had another
35.
30. Yeah.
He had 35 last night. And that's why, I mean, I'm going to watch when they're in March. I'm going to watch because I want to
100%.
watch him. But
They
yeah,
can still get to the Sweet 16.
yeah, they still got Rob Wright, who's a really
Yeah.
good player. Um,
Ada's like solid. Um,
well, and I think when you have a guy like AJ, right, like he's capable
you
of,
can
of
never count the
carrying,
team out.
right? Like he
Yeah.
could go on an insane run in March and single-handedly take them to this, the second weekend.
But Saunders being out does hurt.
It does, especially for the three-point
Best
shooting.
3-point shooter on the
Exactly.
team. What's his name? Is it Kendrick or I don't know. It's one of their other guards. He starts. He's nowhere near as good of a shooter as Richie.
Um, I got one more quick note before we take a break.
I
Did
guess,
you see Darren Peterson pull himself out of that game last night?
yeah, I can't get a I mean, he's probably one of the most talented hoopers I've seen in the past 5 years in college, like no doubt. But it's like this guy's a loser, dude. And I don't know if it's him or it's like I've read rumors where it's like his agent and his family that are so protective over him in his draft stock and just getting a bag in the NBA. Like they don't want to risk any injury. So like who knows if it's him or it's this is what his agent's telling him to do.
Right.
But it's like, dude, you're a college like you're in college, bro. Like you're he's load managing in college.
I feel like we saw too. Kind of
Stephen A.
also.
Smith had a good rant on him this morning, if you saw that.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out. I'm sure that's gold.
Pretty much saying, how do you take this guy with the number one overall pick?
It's a pretty good Stephen A. Smith impression right there. I think too. We've seen most of the year. Bill Self has stood up for him in the media. Last night was kind of the first time where you could kind of see it might be cracking a little bit. He didn't really stick up for him and kind of just said it was a bummer. Like he could have had a big night. We didn't see this
I mean,
coming.
six threes in the first half in a college game is yeah, it's
18 and
insane.
he had 18 and 20 minutes.
I'm curious to see what, dude, what if this guy does this in March? Like, I, he seems like an absolute nightmare. I honestly like, not talent wise, I compare him to like, he reminds me of like a Kawhi Leonard in the NBA right now, where it's just like all the talent in the world, but how serious is like, does he even care, you know?
I think it's kind of weird that like the media, we constantly hear Bill Self and other people talk. Why don't we ever hear it from him directly? Like if he just came out and said, look, I've got a bad hamstring or calf, whatever it is, and he just said it's bad, I can't stop the cramping, I feel like it would kind of, everyone would quiet down a little bit. But he hasn't spoken once. Like no one's heard from him.
No, I,
Um,
he seems like a problem. I will say
yeah.
KU's definitely dealing it with it, dealing, you know, with it very well internally. Like we don't know anything. So
Yeah. Bill Self, I mean, a hell of a coaching job keeping that team together with that big of a distraction going on because it's every week. Before every game. It's a talking point. Um, let's take a quick break before we come back and then preview everything that's going down this weekend because, like we alluded to in the beginning of the episode, there's way too much to talk about. So take a quick break. When we come back, we will break down the weekend. All right, we're back. We've been talking about college basketball for the most part of this episode, so why don't we switch tune a little bit? We had the Genesis kickoff today, a little bit of a weather delay, kind of right when it got started. I think as we're speaking right now, Rory is in front, so that's great for my team that we drafted on Monday. Did you get any picks out for this tournament?
I I did gave out Hideki, but honestly, I was thinking before we started filming, there's still a good value on both. And I know it's like I hate being the dude to give out two guys that are, top in the leaderboard on day one, but I think there's a real shot that Morikawa can go back to back. He's four under right now, and I think Rory can win it as well. So those will be my two picks.
I
Hideki, because I already said that.
I have one pick out right now as we're speaking. I took Max Homa to finish top 20, including ties. I haven't checked. I think he was supposed to be a later tee time, so when they got delayed earlier, like I don't think he had even teed off when they resumed play. I'm sure he's off now, but I haven't looked. Hopefully that's aging well. Should
Homa.
be a good tournament though. I'm excited to watch that on Sunday when everything kind of. Well, we might have U.S. hockey Sunday morning.
I will be watching that.
They have to win
Absolutely.
Friday, I think, right? They play Friday night or
Tomorrow.
Friday.
Play tomorrow during the day.
And they have to win that one to make the gold match, which is Sunday morning,
Yep.
correct?
We got Finland, Canada tomorrow, and USA, Slovakia. I'm
Have you
really
been
hoping
watching
to get a
that?
Canada, USA. Yeah, I've been
I am
watching.
too. I caught the like last I don't know little bit of the U.S. game yesterday, right? It was yesterday. God, I'm getting my
Yes.
days mixed up.
Yep.
Um, overtime win. What do you think about that overtime format? The 3v3.
Dude, not in the Olympics. Like this is, some of these guys can argue it means more than a Stanley Cup. At least like the only reason I say that is like when you look at other sports, at least basketball, like a lot of these NBA players have said it's more important and more meaningful to them to win a gold for their country than an NBA chip. So yeah, I think it's I mean, why not 5-on-5 and
Yeah,
just grind it out, you know? Because
I'm not a
3v3, there's way less opportunity. I mean, way higher opportunity for someone just to score. Like you get the ball in the first face or the puck on the first face off, like the advantage goes to that team immediately.
Yeah, I'm not much of a like I'm not
Just
a
seems
diehard
lame,
hockey
bro.
fan. So I don't like want to give an uneducated take on it, but I do like watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Those are super fun to watch. Um, I wonder why they just wouldn't use the regular like NHL overtime where it's basically just a regular. It's like a fourth period and
Yeah,
then
I
first
know.
goal wins. I don't know. Maybe that's a terrible take though. If there's any hockey fans out there, Jimmy or
No,
Snap.
our boys that were talking about hockey, I felt like they were complaining about it, the 3v3. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, like I'm sure everyone in the world, well, in Canada and America would want to see a little Canadian versus US match rematch. That'd be sick. I
yeah.
mean, I guess if we're gonna talk about hockey, big US women's gold in OT today, literally 2 hours ago. That was insane. I mean, that was my first women's hockey match I've ever watched in my life, and was not disappointed.
I'm proud to be an American today, brother. Taking home the gold in women's hockey, baby.
Yeah,
Um,
that was epic. I
yeah, that
guess
went to
like
overtime too, right?
yes, US was down 1-0 the entire game, and then I think with like literally 2 minutes left, huge goal from Knight. I don't know her, but I saw she broke a record actually for I think for most goals in the Olympics.
That's
So
hype.
proud to be an American. Hopefully the men's can take home the gold. It's going to be a tall task, but
Well, I feel like the Canada game yesterday went to overtime. That kind of showed like that armor can be cracked.
they have a weakness. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
human too.
they're not Thanos.
Um, Even though I guess it feels that way because they've got McDavid and McKinnon and that fucking goalie seems to play lights out whenever the lights are bright.
Yeah, Bennington
Yeah. Also, spring training's back. I think there's a game tomorrow, but it's definitely
tomorrow.
it's back this weekend. So awesome to have baseball back. We'll have to do Bardo like a MLB slash World Baseball Classic kind of preview, maybe next week because it's coming up soon. And obviously, we're both big baseball fans, so I'm excited for that. This is always a good time of the year when baseball's it's so close, and the teams start posting pictures on the socials of the guys in the spring training uniforms, and they're back. Um,
I know I'm fired up. I definitely will have a game on this TV next to in the office. Just nothing beats a good old afternoon baseball game, dude, when the sun's bright. I don't know, it's just good vibes.
I know this could be a hot take for the Rage Bay pod. Maybe it's not that hot. I don't know. I'll be curious to see what you say, Bardo. A lot of people don't really like spring training, right? Because obviously a lot of the starters don't really play. I kind of like watching some of these young guys, see what you got in the farm. Um, Obviously, not all of them. I'm not going to sit here and claim I know every single player, but I know the Dodgers' top prospects and some of the top prospects on
I
other
love
teams around
spring
the league.
training.
Yeah,
Honestly think if you haven't been to
agreed.
Phoenix or Tempe, you got to get out there one time. I haven't been in a while. It's a due trip, especially now that we're just older and can do a lot more
Yeah,
there. And
I used to go growing
yeah,
up. We'd have travel baseball
we
tournaments,
travel
and
baseball tournaments all the
yeah,
time.
and it
Like
was
you
so much
play
fun
in a
going.
tournament, then you go to a game after. Like yeah,
Yeah,
just the good
yeah,
old
super
days.
fun, and can't wait for baseball to get started. I'm fired up for that World Baseball Classic too.
Me too. When's that start? April or
No, I think
no,
it's
March?
early March. It's in like a couple weeks,
Yeah.
so we'll have to break that. We'll have to preview that soon. What else we got this weekend? We talked about the Genesis. I guess we can start talking about the obviously the biggest part of the weekend is we've got two Final Four games. Duke, Michigan, which we kind of briefly mentioned, and then Arizona, Houston, right? That's the other one. Two Final Four games in late February. What more could you ask for?
I mean, I'm beyond pumped. We'll be tuning in for both of those. I I don't know how. I have to go Michigan for that first one, and then what was the second one?
It's Arizona, Houston. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, geez. TBD on that. But yeah, going to be some really telling games and showing the strengths and weaknesses of both teams on literally the biggest stage
Do you think
for a
there's any
regular season game
chance?
at least.
Do you think there's any chance Duke can win that game?
100%.
Is
I
it at
think
Duke? I
yeah.
feel like it's at
Yeah,
Cameron Indoor.
he's at Cameron.
I don't know,
Duke's
man. I'm gonna
dogs
have to
on the
see what
road.
that line opens. I'm gonna have to see what that line opens up at.
Michigan's like 3.5 favorites on the road.
Is it out already?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get it because I feel like that's gonna go. I feel like that's gonna go down.
So you want Duke with the points.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I say that all the time, but that's just kind of the common theme I've realized with this basketball season. Because you think right when you think you know something about a team, they come out the next week and completely flip it 180 on you. But I feel like everyone's gonna pick Michigan. Maybe the sharps come out
Yeah.
and hammer the 3.5 line and get it to move the other way. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I as of now, I think my action will be going on to Michigan, but I always I'm a game time wager. I
Houston, Arizona, no idea. I mean, I don't know where it is. I
no
think it's at
idea.
Houston. I don't know. I have zero idea what that line would be.
Do
Probably
we really
Houston by
think
two or three, two and a
Arizona
half.
drops 3 out of 4 games though?
Not really. But do you
I
see
know.
Houston losing back to back?
I don't know. We didn't see Arizona doing that and they lost back to back.
True.
Is that game at Houston?
I think it is. Let me
It
look.
is, then I might have to give that. Houston's not that good on the road, honestly. So if it's if it's in
It's at
Tucson,
Houston. It's at Houston.
I mean, yeah, that's tough. If it's in Tucson, I think I would have to go Arizona, but I'll have to reevaluate that.
Um,
Houston plays insane at home.
yeah, I
It
feel
is
like I'm
funny, like I guess
leaning.
that's another thing. Like it's just weird how like home court means so much in college.
Well, yeah, because you have students. It's
Yeah, it's
different
just
than
yeah.
pro sports because the students that are like that game at Purdue on Tuesday, they were down by 20 and it was still rocking because they had like the student section looked packed, huge. They care a lot. I mean, think about when we used to go to Schulmeyer,
Yeah,
watch those
I
frogs
know.
games, try to will them to victory.
It's true.
Um,
But yeah.
Speaking of Schulmeyer, are you going to that game on
I was
Saturday?
literally, dude, so my parents are visiting actually, and I was literally talking to my dad. I was like, we got to go to this game. Like, I mean, it's not, but it is now the biggest game of the year for the Frogs. So yeah, I definitely am gonna try to get a ticket.
Yeah,
He'll be
I'll
there. I
I'll definitely have that one on the TV. Um,
think it's like
I
a three
texted you
o'clock
this
or
this week. I texted you this week, and I still stand by it. I have like fallen in love with this team through all the frustrations. I,
I
it's
know.
like it's the biggest love hate relationship.
Yeah, they piss me off so much, but then it's like when they win a game, it's like I can't be any more excited, you know?
Yeah. So hopefully they can pull that through because I know obviously West it's a good spot for West Virginia coming off a bad loss, but TCU also
Good,
just
better
lost.
spot
So
for TCU though.
yeah, at
Bounce
home,
back at home, must win,
and it's huge. Not
especially with Missouri winning it last night.
yeah.
I don't know if you saw, they almost threw the game.
Yes, yeah, we forgot to talk about that when we were recapping those games. Yeah, the half court buzzer beater to lose
In
almost
and
went in.
in and out.
Yeah,
I would have laughed so hard, dude.
that
You
kid
deserve
on
to lose after you
Instagram.
just can't take care of the ball. And teams that don't foul when they're up three, like when you're up three or more, why
Foul.
not just foul? Like, why risk the tie? I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. It's bizarre to me, but
If
yeah,
they would
that
have
was a
blown
huge
that,
win for Mizzou though.
it
Like
was for
they're above us now as of for the time being.
they play Arkansas this weekend though.
Yeah, they have Arkansas twice.
Yeah, they saw them twice. Um, but if they would have lost that game that like by that fashion on a half court buzzer beater, that kid on Instagram that was chirping, uh, he probably would have heard about it for sure.
100%. But yeah,
Um,
I mean, I can't think of anything at the top of my head. That's we hit on the good games. We hit on Cronin's antics. Got some golf picks out there. Um, anything from your end? I've got a
I
gas
guess
dinner I've got tonight. I'm pretty fired up for
where you going? You cooking or you going somewhere?
going somewhere. It's honestly a place I haven't been to in a minute. I don't know if you ever went when you were living in Fort Worth. It's called Teeny's.
I
Gas
don't think
drinks and like it's kind of like Mediterranean. So should be
that'll be
interesting.
nice.
The
Yeah,
fire at the same time.
I'm bunkered up in my apartment right now. We got a snowstorm rolling through Omaha.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like 75 degrees in Dallas, clear skies.
it's coming down right now. Um,
It's a perfect weekend for to watch some ball all day though.
yeah, I guess the last thing I add, that TCU UCLA series should be pretty interesting this weekend. Um,
Yeah. Hope we can like take at least one. I think they should. They'll take one. Honestly, you get two, that is amazing.
if they win the
But
series,
at
that's it.
least let's get one.
Agreed. Yeah, you got to win one. If they take the series, I think you can't be anything but happy about that. Um, all right, so you might be going to the game Saturday. Anything else going on?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't say I got much either. Just gonna be sitting down on my couch watching everything we just talked about. Probably.
Hey,
Um,
we have been hot with our predictions, I will say.
we
Let's keep the
have,
train rolling.
yeah, just and we got to get back after getting rinsed last night.
Yeah, dude. Honestly. Okay. Here's a pick for the night. Campbell plus 2.5. We're going to mid-major.
All right, who do they got?
William and Mary. We'll see how
Nice.
this goes. Yeah, shitty slate for college basketball tonight.
I think I'm going to hammer Purdue tomorrow night. Home game
Who
against
is
Indiana.
Yeah, they're not losing Indiana twice.
No, Indiana already beat them. They're coming off that loss against Michigan. I saw Mackey Arena. They're doing a blackout there. That place is going to be, and they hate Indiana. It's a rivalry game. So I don't know what that line is right now, but I'll be taking Purdue.
I like that. I'll tell you on that. Well, I guess what we should start doing, now that this pod is starting to get more established, just an idea before we call it. What if there was a way to maybe we just start polling questions and
Yeah.
and bring
Okay.
questions to the pod from the listeners that we can
Yeah.
address. I think that's a good
Okay.
idea. And
I
then
think so
hopefully,
too.
as time goes by and we get more and more listeners, if we stream this live, then we get a chat.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to. I don't know how to do
I
that
think we just
live.
do it on YouTube. Next time you're in Dallas, we'll figure this out together.
Okay. Yeah. I guess
Visit your parents or something.
I know. So if you want to leave questions, I know you can comment on Spotify. You can definitely comment on the Instagram, and then when I post this to YouTube, which I keep forgetting to do, when I post this to the YouTube, you can definitely comment on there. So yeah, I guess if you got any questions, that's a good idea, Bardo.
Let's do that. Next
Yeah.
pod, we'll get some questions.
Or you know what I could do? I'll do this too, along with what I just said. When this episode is published and I post it, I could post a Q&A thing on the Instagram story. Have you ever seen those before? I've never personally done it, but I can't imagine it's that hard where you leave a little chat box on the story and people can respond.
Yes, I
And
know what
I'll
you're
write
talking about. Let's
we'll
do.
write the questions down
That's where it'll
and
go.
yeah,
Perfect.
and we'll answer them on Monday's episode. All right, I think that sounds like a good game plan.
Well, I got nothing else. You got anything else?
No, but if you are going to leave it, if anyone listening knows how to add intro and outro music, please leave that in the question box because I can't figure that out. So that's the last thing I've got. Oh, and one more quick rant that's been pissing me off lately. Did Apple change the keyboards on these iPhones, man? I can't type anything correctly lately,
Yes,
and
they did.
the autocorrect doesn't work either. I've been losing my mind,
There's
man.
something also with the numbers, like where you can get your numbers and emojis, and it's yeah, I don't. That's what I've noticed for me personally.
I feel like I'm
You
having
know,
an
like muscle
aneurysm writing
memory,
these
I used to be
texts.
just so used to like it's just your brain is used to where a certain icon is. Yeah, that's an interesting take. Never
I
thought about
swear,
that, but now I'm thinking about it. I've noticed that
I've
before.
just been noticing it way more. I can't type anything correct, and then it doesn't autocorrect anything. It used to be it would autocorrect things I was purposely trying to spell that way, and you'd be like, I'm tired of autocorrect. Now it doesn't autocorrect anything. So just a quick little rant I had on my chest. I was wanting to get off.
All right. Well, looking forward to the weekend. Big slates ahead. Really good games, events. We'll be back. We'll be back on
Yeah.
Tuesday. Send your
Yep.
questions in on
Send
the
the questions
Instagram.
in. Check us out on Spotify and YouTube. Hope everyone out there has a great weekend watching these games, and we'll see you on the next episode.